What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Randy here with RTS Mobile Gamer. I'm bringing you a fantastic video today. We are playing Call of Dragons. We are doing a revised commander guide for Hosk with some amazing examples and more detailed information, thanks to some great feedback from my buddy Ice, okay? Here we go, like and sub, let's hit it. First off, Hosk is absolutely amazing. He is a force to be reckoned with, both as a commander and as a deputy commander, okay? But let's talk about how you get him. The first and only way that you can acquire Hosk is through the VIP store, okay? At VIP level 10, you will unlock the chest to purchase the first 60 Hosk tokens. So, if you see a Hosk on the field, you know your opponent is at least VIP 10. VIP 10 is not that difficult to obtain by spending a few $100 in in-game packs. So, if you happen to be a small to medium spender, I could definitely see you picking up Hosk in Season 1 or 2. Okay, next, Hosk is absolutely amazing for a lot of reasons. Let's talk about how he is amazing and why, okay? First off, his rage skill gives no quarter, okay? This means he basically gives 3 bonuses to his Legion when he pops his rage skill. He gives attack bonus, HP bonus, and overall damage dealt bonus, which is super duper important. This basically buffs everything in the Legion enormously, okay? For 5 seconds. This can trigger unlimited times. The duration is only for 5 seconds. So, obviously, you're going to want to regenerate a lot of rage with Hosk. That way you can have this buff active all the time, okay? Next, he is a specialty for rallies, okay? Hosk, one of his 3 main skills up here is going to be the rally skill, okay? And because of that, he is going to have one of the only commanders in the game with the rally talent tree, which we'll talk about in a minute, all right? But basically what that means here, if you would Dream of Peace, when you are rallying against an enemy target, you have a 50% chance to reduce their defense by up to 15%, which is enormous, by the way, okay? His next skill is one of my favorite. This makes him super duper useful for a lot of different builds. He can be the main commander in the build, or he can be the deputy commander in the build and give his Legion enormous bonuses. 25% defense if he's the main commander, 40% normal attack if he's the deputy, okay? I've been using him as a deputy most of the time for my ranged builds right now. His next ability is called Plateau Tactics. This thing is also next level, okay? Giving you a maximum of 15,000 bonus march. Okay, my current march size is like 108,000, so adding 3,000 to that is great. If I can add 15,000 to that, that's obviously about 12 or 13% increased stats across the board just from having more units, okay? And lastly, his Awakened skill, if you are able to get this, if you happen to be max VIP level and everything, you will be able to give your units a 30% increased critical rate for the normal attacks and the counter attacks. This is a 6% stacking buff up to a maximum of 30% for 6 seconds. So this is super interesting. If you are spamming 3 or 4 buffs on your units within a shorter period of time, you could easily get 18 to 24% crit, 30% crit if you max it out. Keep on going, okay? Now, let's talk about his actual talent trees here, okay? Like I said, he has the rally skill. He also has the overall skill, which Thea and some of the other folks have. And he has another tree called Precision, okay? Right now, really, if you're using him as a deputy, you don't actually care what his supporting skills are, okay? Because you're only using his main title skills. So, this is really geared towards using him as a main commander. Then his talents will come into play. All right, so essentially, if you are using him as a main commander, you're gaining 25% defense for your units. So that really pushes you. There's no sense going into a damage tree because you're trading 40% damage for 25% defense. You might as well double down on the defensive capabilities, okay? And either go into the rally tree and get some defense and speed and counterattack bonus damage, okay? Reduce the amount of damage you take even further, okay? And really gear towards rallies. Or you can go into the overall support tree, which also has some really nice defensive capabilities here. Some good rage regeneration here from Spirited Response, okay? 4 rage every 1 second isn't a crazy amount. It's basically 40 rage every 10 seconds, which is on par with some of the other commander skills. So it's not terrible, it's not amazing, it will help you regenerate rage, right? Unrelenting Fury, again, this is going to give you an enormous amount of rage. This is going to really benefit his Awaken skill. So if you do have him Awaken, Unrelenting Fury is going to be an amazing complement for that, because every time you gain a buff, you'll gain 15 rage, okay? So those are the two builds I would run with him, either rally or overall. Really focus on rage regeneration or focus on damage mitigation, okay? I wouldn't bother with the precision tree. I'm in there right now. I'm going to change that. I mean, I'm not using him as a main commander right now. But yeah, you could get, you know, a little bit of bonus damage here and there. It's really not, it really doesn't matter. Okay? Because you are trading, like I said, 40% damage for 25% defense. Now, let's talk about this for a second. I feel like I skipped over an important fact, okay? The normal attack damage bonus affects both magic damage and physical damage units, okay? So your marksmen will gain this 40% attack damage bonus, and your mages will gain this 40% attack damage bonus. I wanted to specify that because when I was looking for information on Hosk online, there are no good guides, which is why I'm making this video. I leveled him to 50 and made this video just for all of you. There's literally no good guides on on the internet right now or on YouTube for Hosk that clarify a lot of these important details. So I wanted to really get into that for you. Okay, this bonus attack damage is super duper key. It's amazing. Now, let's talk about a few fights that I've done and a few recommended unit compositions. I've done some very even testing for you. Okay, I've done 3 different builds here that I like, using him as a deputy. Here is the first build where I am running Kinara and Hosk using marksman. Okay, for all of these builds, I've tried to keep around 100,000 units in the March to really compare fairly. And what we're going to see here is the amount of damage that happens when Hosk activates his rage bonus, right? That's what I want to see. So, we're going to look at the first round damage, okay? Here's Kinara attacking with tier 4 marksman, 2145 damage, not too shabby, okay? Let's swing down, right? So just remember that number, 2145 units killed. Now let's jump down to Hosk's ultimate, which is right here. This is the second rage skill, which is Hosk for this fight. All right. Here in Hosk's rage skill, he gives all kinds of damage bonuses here, as you can see. Okay. He is going to give Kinara all of these bonuses in about 5 seconds here. So again, now look, we're up to 2217 because we have some other damage bonuses rolling. So 2217 is now going to increase with Hosk's bonuses to, check this out, 2474. That is a big damage bonus, guys. That is absolutely beautiful. Let's look at the next skill too. Let's take a quick look at the counterattack damage with Kinara's bonuses up. Okay, with Kinara's full bonuses up, here her counterattack damage with Hosk's ultimate and Kinara's bonuses is 1751. The counterattack damage is beautiful. Okay, so that is the Marksman Kinara build. Let's take a look at, we'll take a look at this Velen build, and this is using the control tree. By the way, both Kinara and Velen, I'm using the control talent tree on, so you should see very comparable things here. You're really just comparing what the damage looks like using Celestial units, which are super powerful mages. They're the flying mages. They have a little bit higher damage than regular mages. We're going to compare those against the marksman right now. Okay? So here, round 1, we're triggering some bonuses, blah, blah, blah. 15, 26 damage output, okay? Really nothing special there. Let's get down a little bit to when all the things are rolling. All right, here we go. So now we're actually dealing full damage, regular damage without the bonuses. 1730, as you can see here, 1730 damage bonus. Beautiful, beautiful. And then let's drop down again and find where Hosk's ultimate is. Here's Hosk's ultimate, okay? And now let's look at the round afterwards and see what that damage looks like. So we have dramatically increased our damage here, folks. The counterattack is hitting for 1676, which is just glorious. And B, the auto attack itself is hitting for 2013. So mages deal less damage than marksmen. Let's just put that out there now, okay? But one of the benefits of this build is, well, both of these builds, being in the control tree, are very high rage generation. But one of the benefits, obviously, of using the mages is you have much longer range, okay? And you counter infantry units directly. So having those kind of bonuses is super duper key, okay? But this is what those two builds like. So you have Kinara at 2400 damage with a 1700 retaliate counter strike. Then we've got a 1676 counter strike from Velen with 2000 auto attack damage. So really a lot of pew pew coming out. Now, the third and final fight I'm going to talk to you about is going to be Lilia. This is one of the most popular builds in the game right now, Lilia with Hosk. Okay, I'm going to preface this by reminding you that Lilia gives bonuses, okay? She gives bonuses to peacekeeping, 30% peacekeeping damage bonus. So I want you to remember that as you're looking at these builds here, and remind yourself that she is dealing a 30% damage buff all the time. Okay, so take this with a grain of salt when we look at these reports. So let's just jump right to round 3. Let's jump to a Counter-Strike round. Hang on. Let's find a Counter-Strike. Here we go. Okay. 8 seconds in, you're going to see some auto attack damage, okay, at 1965, and then you're going to see a Counter-Strike at 1640. So without Hosk's Rage buff active, she's almost dealing as much damage as the Velian build because of her 30% peacekeeping, okay? Hosk is giving 40% bonus damage, she's giving 30% bonus damage, which is why you see these so neck and neck. That's how that math adds up. Here is the Lilia ult, okay, and here is the Hosk ult. Let's go take a look at that next round here and see what that looks like. All right, so Counter-Strike is up to almost 2,000 damage, 1985. That is beautiful, okay? And then here's Scorch. Oh, Scorch is doing damage. There's so much damage coming out in this round. This is crazy. Okay, here you have Lilia hitting for 2361. So, Lilia damage with 30% additional damage due to peacekeeping, as you can clearly see in this bonus area here. She is keeping up with the marksman damage output, dealing a little bit higher retaliate for some reason, even though Kanara has retaliate bonuses for Counter-Strike. But it's definitely an interesting... Oh, was that not the bonus? Oh my god. That was the bonus. That was the bonus. Okay, we're in the right round. I was smoking crack. Okay, so she has a ton of damage bonuses right now. And it's needless to say that the actual damage output, if you take away the 30%, is going to be pretty comparable to Velen's. Maybe a little bit higher than Velen's, but you lose a lot of the rage regeneration that he's using with the control tree, okay? So, 3 builds, guys, 3 recommended builds that I would use him with. All 3 very powerful and comparable in a lot of ways. And you clearly just saw the damage output come through. So really, it's a matter of what you like and building up a march to use him correctly with enough rage generation to activate that ultimate very quickly, okay? All right, so that's the video, folks. If you've enjoyed this Hosk guide, please go ahead, like, and sub. Love you long time. Happy Thursday. Randy out.